Hello, everyone. Welcome to Suzanne Wagner's Intuitive Patterns for the month of August 2016. So it's my favorite time of the month. It's my birth month, which I'm a Leo. So I always look forward to this time of the year. And I know that for a lot of people, this feels very hot and very heated. And astrologically, that energy is exactly what's going on. And in August, we have a lot of things starting to shift. It's more towards the end of the month that you're going to see the improvements in the energy and a better flow that you've been trying to get going. And so for the first part of the month, it's going to be pretty still hot and bothered and stressed out. And so take some deep breaths and we're going to go through this a bit at a time. So your essence creates the forms you experience in your life. The more willing you are to dive deep into your essence, the more clear the reality becomes because you are no longer needing to project your unresolved and buried issues into the external world. When you know yourself and you are clear with yourself, the dramas of the world, while fascinating to watch, just sort of like a movie is very interesting, it no longer hooks you or elicits a strong negative response because you understand this is just the universe attempting to wake others up. Your own negativity is much scarier to confront than the illusions and projections that others make up in order to feel something and to wake up from their own living nightmare. This month, how can you inspire others to awaken? How can you give the greatest gift you have? Do you know what that gift is? It is the gift of your clear reflection of truth and your compassionate heart of understanding. It is your faith and belief in humanity's ability to break out of the patterns of fear that paralyze them and do not allow them to see the love that they have inside is way more valuable and precious than any external illusion that would want to drag them down. What you fear in others is what you fear in yourself. Your judgment of others is also right now judging you harshly. You project onto others the suffering you are subtly and quietly inflicting upon yourself. Your words of anger and fear reveal how fear-based and angry you are at yourself. This month, it is time to resolve this duality internally so the external can grow beyond this pattern of stagnation. You can transform your fear into courage. You can let go of this heavy burden you've been carrying. Use the energy of this month to allow for healing in a greater way than you have previously been willing to go. It takes a willingness to move in the direction that may shatter your illusions rather than reinforce them. When you are looking for agreement, you feel strong in your convictions. It means that those convictions are pretty shaky. If you do not know your deepest self, then the opinions of others can cause confusion and spiteful conversations. Reaction is a form of defense. Truth does not need to be defended. It needs to be embodied. Look at what challenges you need to undertake at this time. The wisdom of the North is leading you back to the innocence and trust that the South symbolizes. It is time to come back to your younger self. He or she has the wisdom and oneness you are seeking at this time. This month is a time of unity, a time when we need to come together and no longer be separated. You have two faces, the face of experience and the face that is your original face. The face of experience is scarred and aged from the suffering and struggles this life has offered up as challenges for you to grow. Your original face is the one that knows this path was chosen and this life will give you what you seek if you are willing to open to it. The cards indicate that travel this month is a doorway to reclaim your original self's face and reflection. It is through being in nature that you may catch a glimpse of your original self and find the doorway to come back home. What I love about this month is the shift of power from the masculine order to a more feminine, fluid power structure. The feminine is gaining strength this month, and the old masculine world is like shattered glass under your feet. It is a major shift in the reality as we prepare for Jupiter to leave Virgo and go into Libra on September 9th. The old mindsets are breaking under the pressure of adamant change that has become a driving force of nature that will no longer be stopped. The sword of truth is in the hands of the woman in the Five of Swords, and it is the only sword still intact after the battle. Only truth will survive these astrological tidal shifts. The distortion has become so extreme that it has almost become a joke. That is wonderful because the world deserves peace, not all this chaos that the illusion has created. In August, the majority of humanity is just no longer buying it. Swallowing the truth seems easier, like quenching water, whereas the distortion is like trying to choke down some rotted meat. No matter what anyone tells you, you know it is garbage and it needs to be thrown out. Now, the only problem is learning to love yourself after awakening to the fact that for a time, you did contribute to that distortion in either large or small ways. So let it go. Forgive yourself and know that you need to push this energy into an extreme position to awaken from the nightmare of fear that you have been living under. Now, a personal note for me, here we are in the month of Leo. It is very hot in some places, and each of you might be feeling a bit bothered in these dog days of summer. Yes, it has been an interesting spring into summer, and the astrology is not done with us yet. Though by the end of this month, the shift of Venus into Libra on August 29th, and then on September 9th, Jupiter moving out of Virgo and into Libra will feel like a huge relief for many of you. Let's hope that all that organization, preparation, and structure of Jupiter and Leo will pay off as we finally get some expansion that so many of us have yearned for and desperately need. I think it is safe to say that regardless of who gets into the White House, there are going to be many who are not happy with the results. So I think it is best to prepare now to deal with the emotions and conversations that are going to inevitably come up. In this month of heat, it is time to learn mental discipline and keeping a calm, cool head as we begin to lean into the fall shifts astrologically. There are times to awaken to the world in which we find ourselves now. And right now, for many, this world feels very foreign, unsafe, and unfamiliar. Yet this is where we are, and life is about accepting the hand of that fate has dealt each of us with as much grace and understanding as is possible. We cannot resist the changing tides that are bringing troubled waters to our shores, but we can prepare our mind and awareness for the storms that we know and can see coming. By now, each of you know that I am not the gloomy goat psychic, but it is important that you see the truth in each moment and lean into that harsh wind as a preparation for the next lessons to come. I believe that the universe knows what it is doing and that all of this will be divinely perfect. Greatness comes out of challenging situations, and clearly there will be some major players awakening and showing up for all of us to help and guide us through these transitions. There is nothing to fear because it has always been so in every generation and in every conflict. There are those who are born to this time and are born to step up when things seem the most challenging. Who knows? It might be you. You might be the person who discovers the answer to a profound problem or question, or maybe it will be your children. You never know where power might manifest. Trust the process. There is a pattern within that seems to be chaos, but if you listen closely with your deepest self, you will feel and hear her voice whispering back to you. I hope you have a wonderful month of August. Thanks for listening.